You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Just another gorgeous day in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as the fans are making their way to Target Field for the second game of a three-game set. It is a beautiful day for baseball here in Minnesota as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball against Minnesota Twins from Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hello, everybody. I'm John Flaherty, along with Al Leiter again. We have Game 2 of this series for you tonight. Yankees, a very impressive 7-2 win last night, able to put a lot of runs on the board in the 7th inning, but they got it going in the 6th, Al, and it was Gary Sanchez who got them moving in the right direction.
Really, when you look at that score, Flash, 7-2, you thought it was a bit of a laugher, but I'll tell you what, Kyle Gibson for the Twins was every bit as good as Jay Happ until that pitch right there, 2 outs in the 6th, 2 strikes, a ball that looked like definitely out of the zone, 460 feet later, and then in that big 7th inning, just off the end of the bat, Yankees poured it open. This pitch right here and this double, his 15th on the year, I think if the Yankees can get Gary Sanchez going, boy, is that a big boost down the stretch.
Yeah, a lot of reasons for him to smile last night, and the Yankees are hoping that they're going to be smiling after this one as we come back for Yankees baseball from the beautiful state of Minnesota. It'll be Twins-Yankees Game 2 coming up next right here on Yes. official vehicles of summer. By Jeep, the official vehicles of summer, and by Poland Spring Sparkling, real spring water, real fruit flavor, and refreshing bubbles. And by Buick, visit tristatebuick.com for great lease offers. We're going to take a look at our pitching matchup tonight, which is brought to you by People's United Bank. It'll be Sonny Gray with his 10-8 record of 4.96 ERA against Tyler Duffy, 1-2 with an even 9 ERA. And Al, Sonny Gray had a start August 25th against the Baltimore Orioles. Pretty good one, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. Hey, listen, since he's been a reliever in the 5 games, 13 and third innings, that ERA is 2.7. This was the second game of the doubleheader on that August 25th. 6 and a third, the 3 hits, you see the 7 strikeouts. Sonny Gray's been a lot more aggressive with his fastball. I love the curveball. Let's see what he can do here in the second game of this game in Minnesota.
Well, the last 6 appearances for Sonny Gray, they have been good. 2-0 with a 1.83 ERA. Seems to be a lot more aggressive since he's coming out of the bullpen. He'll get a spot start tonight. Yankees hoping to give him some offensive support. They had a big game last night, scoring 7 runs, and the big inning for the Yankees last night was the 7th inning. Miguel Andujar got into the act. Didi Gregorius was part of it. Gleyber Torres a single and an RBI. Stanton and Sanchez will be back. For game 2 of this 3-game set. September 11, 2018, the Minnesota Twins had that great pregame ceremony honoring 9/11 17 years ago today. And obviously excited for this baseball game, Al, but it brings back so many memories from 17 years ago.
It really does. And you know, every time, I don't know how often or infrequent you think about it, but you know, having gone through it, and certainly when I was playing with the Mets, we were literally at ground zero. So yeah, this is a day of remembrance and reflection, and certainly sometimes when you think about what happened on that day, it's a lot deeper and more important than a lot of things that we do in life.
Yep, September 11, 2001, we shall not forget. We never will. And all the players in Major League Baseball wearing patches on their hats saying we shall not forget. You think about all the innocent victims and all of the first responders, and we thank them all for their sacrifice and all the first responders for their service today. We're going to take a look at the starting lineup that manager Aaron Boone is going to throw out there. It's brought to you by Lexus. The Andrew McCutchen playing right field, leading off. Aaron Hicks, he's going to play center, hit second. Miguel Andujar playing third. Giancarlo Stanton playing left field tonight. Didi Gregorius back at shortstop. Gary Sanchez will DH. Luke Voigt back in there at first base. Austin Romine will be catching Sonny Gray. And Gleyber Torres hitting ninth and playing second base.
Yeah, and on the mound, Tyler Duffy, the 27-year-old right-hander, was a fifth-rounder by this Minnesota Twins organization back in 2012. You see his numbers, not good. ERA at 9, 19 innings, 23 hits. Has not pitched well this year. Let's take a look at the pitcher's scout report. This is what he has. Fastball, primarily fastball curve. He'll throw changeup. He'll change 4 2 seams on his fastball, but this is primarily what he does. Bullpen game. I refuse to call it an opener, John Flaherty. It's a bullpen game. There are some organizations. We'll have a chance to talk about it tonight because I know it seems like the new in vogue thing to do, and I don't like it. We'll talk about it. 3 innings and 47 pitches. That's the maximum that Tyler Duffy has pitched this year. So we'll keep a close look on how close he gets to those 3 innings.
Well, we can take a look at the defense, which is presented by Geico. We go left to right. They're going to be Grossman in left field tonight. Jake Cave playing center. Kepler in right. Adrianza at third. Polanco at short. Forsythe at second. Joe Mauer at first. Studio behind the plate. And as Al told you, Tyler Duffy on the mound. Well, the Yankees took game 1 last night, 7-2. Andrew McCutchen led off that game. He's leading off again tonight. And he'll take a look at the first pitch from Tyler Duffy, a breaking ball in there for strike 1.
How about that? Here's your 7th inning guy starting the game off with a breaking ball.
And the opener for the Minnesota Twins drops a first pitch curveball in there. Fastball misses down.
What'd you call him?
He's the opener, Al. You got to get with this new wave.
Yeah, I know.
Analytics and language, and he's starting pitcher tonight, but he will be the opener.
Do you like the idea?
The old school catcher in me hates the idea, and you know what I hate is that you're telling, and you know, Tyler Duffy's situation, kind of an older guy, but how about that young pitcher that we're trying to develop that we're going to wait until the 2nd or 3rd inning before you get in there because we don't want you to face the big boys at the top.
Listen, I probably sound like, you know, the crotchety old guy that's, you get off my lawn.
McCutchen right back up the middle. Good start.
How about McCutchen? Last night's game, 3 walks, a single. Of his 5 at-bats, he was on base 4 times. Well, nice little hitting right here. 2-2 count. Hanging curveball, middle of the plate. Andrew McCutchen does exactly what good major league hitters do, even with the shift slightly. Logan Forsythe almost directly behind second base. Good start for the Yankees and Andrew McCutchen.
Now, as much as we're old school and we don't like this opener thing, the Tampa Bay Rays have had some success with it. Now, the Minnesota Twins, they're doing it the 3rd time this year, Duffy being the opener. And it really hasn't quite worked out quite as well for them as Aaron Hicks takes a first pitch ball. Hicks hitting second again, was 1 for 4 last night. Couple of walks. Nothing new for him, the base on balls. Sky to left field. Grossman on the move. Will he be able to get there? It looks like he will. Take a look at the game time weather, which is presented by Bigelow Tea, and another gorgeous day here in Minnesota. 76 degrees, 54% humidity. There is a breeze, 12 miles an hour, forecast mostly sunny. And I would have to say, if you look at the breeze out, might be a good day to hit the ball to left field. Might carry a little bit. You don't know how the wind swirls in here. A little breezy.
Thought the wind was kicking up a lot today. Gary Sanchez, 6th inning home run, 460 feet, third deck here at Target.
Miguel Andujar takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Andujar at his 40th double of the year last night, a couple of RBIs. 79 RBIs now for Andujar, and hitting third again tonight.
40 doubles. What a year he's had. I know you got Shohei Ohtani with the Angels. The pick of being rookie of the year. There you go, Flash.
One or two rookies in Yankee history to hit 20+ home runs, 40+ doubles. The other one, Joe DiMaggio. Anytime you're mentioning that, that'll get your attention. Well, the word on Andujar always was, right, a gap-to-gap power guy. So the 40 doubles are impressive, but you throw the 23 home runs on top of it. I think the power has kind of come a little bit sooner than maybe the Yankees thought it would. Ball fouled off.
You know, every time I see him, the few games that I do with you guys, I try to always pick up another name, and I threw out Mariano Duncan. Now, even though this name I'm going to mention, he was not by size similar. Charlie Hayes.
Charlie Hayes.
Just watch his.
That's not a bad call.
Now, Charlie was a big guy, but remember Charlie? He had the bat wiggle a little bit.
You know, when I look at Andujar and I think of Charlie Hayes in the same way, they weren't thinking mechanics at all, right? They're just kind of wiggling the bat like, where's the ball? And I'm going to put this ball in play hard. Andujar, the spread stance, be a 2-2. Big ground ball to short. Polanco up with it, over to Forsythe, over to Joe Mauer. 6-4-3 double play. So leadoff hit by McCutchen is wasted. We'll be back for the bottom of the first. Joe Mauer leading off, playing first base. Polanco will play short. Logan Forsythe hitting third, playing second. Robbie Grossman in left field will clean up. Jake Cade, Tyler Austin DHing tonight. You see the numbers with the Twins, 243, 7 home runs, 11 RBIs. Max Kepler playing right field. Adrianza playing third, and my buddy Williams Astudio behind the plate.
And Sonny Gray be making a start. That last start he had was August 25th, and it was a good one. The second game of doubleheader at Baltimore. He went 6 1/3 and 3 hits. Much better as a reliever. Curious tonight to see how that action or his innings that he had out of the pen will translate to starting this game. Let's take a look at the scouting report. Better since the pen move. I mentioned it. His ERA coming out of the pen was 2.7 to 13 third innings. Trust your stuff. His career worst 9.6% walk rate. So I say fill up the zone. He's got a lot of movement on the ball with like 5 pitches. Get ahead. And 1 pitch at a time. We don't know how long he's going to be in the game. You know, he hasn't had a high pitch count. I went back to that Oriole game, 79 pitches. But that's
It's almost 3 weeks ago. So they'll be watching closely.
Fill up the zone, a big deal with him, right?
Fill it up. Get ahead. Trust your stuff. I've heard that 1,000 times.
Well, be a good guy to get a first pitch strike on. Joe Mauer does not swing at very many first pitches as that fastball misses wide. You know, Sonny Gray, it's been an up and down year for him. And it's a demotion when you get sent to the bullpen out of the rotation. And he's handled it the right way. He's said all the right things. He's gone out there and he's performed. And I always thought, Al, that the guys coming out of the pen were two-pitch pitchers, right? Fastball, curveball, slider, whatever it is. Fastball, split. And it seems to me Sonny Gray has kind of simplified his repertoire. More fastball, breaking ball, whether it's a curve or the slider, and he goes with it. See which one he has tonight.
Well, which is exactly what you said is exactly what pitchers try to do. And I want to get back when Tyler Duffy's out there, because I get the evolution here.
Yeah.
And I'm really not that guy. But the evolution of a reliever, not the 8th or 9th inning guy, and the Yankees are a different story because they have 4 or 5 closers.
Ground ball. Didi had him shifted. Easy play for him. 1 down. We'll take a look at the defense for the Yankees tonight, presented by Geico. Go left to right again. Giancarlo Stanton getting an opportunity in left field. Gardner has a night off. Hicks in center. McCutchen in right. And Duhar playing third. You saw Didi Gregorius at short. Gleyber Torres at second. Luke Voigt back in the lineup tonight at first. And Austin Romine catching Sonny Gray. One down to bring up Jorge Polanco. Had a good night last night. Couple of hits. 2 for 4. Breaking ball misses.
Once upon a time, guys that are in the pen were guys that couldn't start, meaning flip the lineup around 3 times. Have 2 secondary pitches that's consistent enough that you could throw for strikes. Of course, a good fastball. If you have a plus fastball, even better, because you get away with mistakes. To your point, what you said about the 2 pitches, if you look at what Sonny Gray has done out of the pen, this is on Brooks Baseball, so I do go to this site. He's been primarily fastball, curveball, flash. But here's a guy that has 2 fastballs, 4-seam sinker. He throws a cutter, throws a curve, throws a slider, and he's got a changeup. You could almost get.
The looping line drive. Didi Gregorius makes the play. 2 down.
You could almost get lost in it.
Confused, right?
Yeah, just a lot. And there's no better pitch than strike 1, preferably down the way. Fastball still an excellent pitch.
All right, take me in a starting pitcher's head. You're thinking line up 3 times. You're thinking 7 innings, right? For a starting pitcher.
Now or when I pitched?
When you pitched.
No, I wanted to throw a shutout.
You want a 9 innings shutout every time out.
Yeah.
Okay, so a reliever, it's more short-minded. I'm going as hard as I can, pitch to pitch, and wherever it ends up, it ends up. I think that attitude has helped Sonny Gray.
I'm with you. And the velocity uptick will be reflective of that.
First pitch strike to Logan Forsythe, hitting 3rd tonight, was 2 for 4 last night. And listen, Sonny Gray is going to have a long major league career, you would assume, and would be back in rotation at some point. You wonder if that mentality of max effort, attack the zone, and however long, how deep I can go into a game will sort itself out.
This pitch.
Yeah.
I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. This pitch is the most important pitch, and you break your game down to the smallest moment.
And that pitch was a 1-1 breaking ball for strike 2. And we talked last night, right? Gary Sanchez has a big night, and if he can finish up his season strong, you forget about a lot of things. Same thing for Sonny Gray, right? You can kind of salvage your year here during the month of September and maybe into October.
Yeah, and I think that's very true. And I think, just on my good and bad years, good and bad months, where I was contract-wise, where I was in my career, how established, truthfully, what did I have a multi-year contract? Was I making good money? All of that plays in. Where you can then put it back to, I know this wasn't the year that I anticipated, but boy, I can be really good down the stretch and make the year. and be satisfied. For as much as a 4 or 5 ERA, you come down the stretch and you nail your last 4, 5, 6 outings.
Yeah, it's like a everyday player who has a terrible year batting average wise, and you got to throw that out and say, you know what, I can help this team and myself for the last couple of weeks. Don't look at the numbers on the scoreboard. Look at the numbers tonight and moving forward. It's a 2-2 to Forsythe, breaking ball. Be an easy ground ball to Didi Gregorius, and a nice smooth start for Sonny Gray. A 1-2-3 inning. We will be back at the top of the second.
Brought to you by Montefiore, doing more. Aaron Judge was once again on the field earlier today taking batting practice, an indication that that wrist responded well from yesterday's session. He was also out in the outfield and right field throwing to the bases for the first time since that wrist injury. He fired some to third, fired some home as well. Aaron Boone said that they expect him to do a similar routine tomorrow. He also said they have a plan in place for Judge as far as how he is going to progress. They also have a date in mind as far as when he might potentially return, but they aren't going to release that just yet. They want him to get a little bit closer before they start floating out some dates.
You know, Meredith, when I listen to Aaron Boone, you can tell that they have a plan moving forward.
There's no doubt about it. So he'll hit tomorrow, then there'll be the off day Thursday. They do want to see how that wrist responds, and then after that you wonder if he's not going to get some more simulated at bats from live pitching. That's the thing that he's really missing right now. Yes, he's taking the batting practice, but he has not seen live pitching in quite some time, and you have to imagine it might take a little while for him to get his timing back.
Yeah, but there was a little smirk on Aaron Boone's face when you guys were asking him the questions. It's almost like, yeah, I think we know what we want to do, and we're getting really close to it. So there's definitely a little sense of more excitement, I think, as Giancarlo Stanton waves at a breaking ball, first out here in the second.
And Flash, I actually spoke to Aaron Judge in the clubhouse last night, and you can tell he was holding back a little bit as well, saying that he didn't know exactly what the next step would be, but it's clear the Yankees have mapped this out for some time now, and he did say yesterday that he felt fine. He did have a little bit of a compression wrap on his wrist afterwards, just as a precautionary thing, but overall it seems as though he has been able to do all baseball activity they have thrown his way, so all good signs moving forward for the Yankees.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I was just laughing, though, because, you know, I'm sure that Aaron Judge loves talking to Meredith Marakovitz, but he's probably getting sick and tired of this, right? Every day. Is it better? Where are we at? What are you thinking?
He wants no part of it, but realizes it's part of the gig, and everybody wants to know what's happening with Aaron Judge. If he's breathing, they want to know. You know, what's the next thing? And fans are just crazy about getting him back in the lineup, and for good cause. He's missed 43 games this season, and without his presence in the lineup, the Yankees certainly have been lacking power and depth in that lineup. And Aaron Boone, even today, John, you were there when he was asked about what that return would mean. Huge smile on his face, talking about how in the beginning of the year, when they had Gleyber Torres and Andujar down towards the bottom of the lineup, how deep that lineup was and how tough it was for pitchers to navigate through it.
Yeah, Gregorius smokes one the other way. It gets by Jay Cave in center field. And Didi Gregorius is going to be into third with a triple. Smoked that ball to left center field.
Well, we got to see what happened to J.K., but absolutely. You look at a line shot. Jorge Polanco almost had a stab at it and then just skips by him. J.K. played more right center, went a long way, and Didi got on his horse for his 5th triple in the air. Watch a fastball. You can see that two-seam run, middle of the plate. And once he saw J.K. pass him, he knew that was an easy triple.
I guess we should be paying attention to how he's running, right? It looks like he's fine coming off the DL after that bruised heel. So on third with one down for Gary Sanchez, who had a big night last night, 3 for 5, that long home run, 460 feet in the 6th inning, kind of got the Yankees going. There's a chance to get the Yankees on the board here in the 2nd. Twins playing the infield back. This ball is hit to left field. Gregorius tagging, Grossman underneath it. And here comes the throw. Gregorius looks like he'll be in there sliding safe, and the Yankees on the board 1-0. Good job of situational hitting by Gary Sanchez. Sacrifice fly. Gets the job done.
Speed. Didi Gregorius looked good, took advantage of a missed play out in center field, and Gary Sanchez hitting it far enough. Weak arm position, left field. Yeah, last night, remember, Didi was at second base and held up at third. Playfully gave him a hard time.
Yeah, Sanchez also threw a little fun dig at third base coach Phil Nevin, like, come on, you got to send my guy right there. Get me another RBI, but a lot of smiles in that dugout now. The Yankees take an early lead, and Luke Voit back in the lineup. Greg Bird played last night. Aaron Boone telling Meredith that little back stiffness for Voit that he's been battling a little bit, so after the flight gave him a day. Back in there tonight. This man has been given an opportunity. He's taken advantage of it. 324, 7 home runs, 15 RBIs. The Yankees a big lift and a big swing and a miss there.
Wow. How about that cut?
Last 16 games, even better. 357. 7 home runs, 13 RBIs, and 11 runs. A big part of the Yankee offense. 2-2 from Duffy. Foul ball. Hitters like this will give pitchers and catchers nightmares because of the power the other way. You can't just pitch away, play away. This man can reach the seat, center field, right center, it doesn't matter. Comes the 2-2, fastball up and away.
Well, like every hitter, pitching coach video, they start trying to find where's that window of weakness or possible expose an area where it's tougher to hit.
Ball hit hard to third base. Adrianza up with it. Final out here in the 2nd inning, but the Yankees get on the board. A sacrifice fly by Gary Sanchez. 1-0 Yankees.
zone as much as possible. I mean, walks are going to happen from time to time, but just being committed to not only myself and my mentality, but being committed to my stuff and being committed to the mitt and committed to the strike zone. And I think if I just continue to, to be all in with that, then positive results will follow.
Well, Meredith, you talked to Sonny Gray in Seattle, and I guess what I take away from that is he's committed. That's all he kept saying.
Committed to pounding the strike zone. You guys talked a little bit about that simplifying of the approach. And after his first outing out of the bullpen, I asked him exactly what his approach was, and he essentially said, grip it and rip it. Not a lot of time to think in those situations. And it's exactly kind of what he has been doing, working a little bit quicker, not worrying about maybe painting the corners as much as far as just kind of throwing it in the zone and letting whatever is going to happen. He also said he learned an awful lot about himself so far this year, being demoted to the bullpen. It forced him to look at things maybe a different way, and said life and baseball, you have to overcome adversity, and you can go one of two ways when you face adversity. You can either face it head on, or you can go the other direction. He considers himself somebody that's going to face it head on and hopefully come out stronger on the other side.
As Robbie Grossman lifts one into left center field, but Aaron Hicks covering some ground, one down. Love everything about that, Al.
Yeah,
grip it and rip it.
Yeah, and I'm listening to the soundbite, and listen, you saw me pitch, and I'm not saying I had some good moments, but I wasn't that great. So like, I'm not coming from a position that I either didn't stink or had tough times and got sent to the pen. So truly, I'm coming from there. But prospectively, also the aspect of going to the bullpen, you're also observing all these guys. Let's remember, folks, in 2015, he was third in AL Cy Young vote, All-Star. Like, he's legit. So now you're down there. It is a demotion. You got to feel bad.
As Jake Cave rolls one over to the right side. Torres, two down.
But now you take this time of not only when you go in there as a reliever, empty the tank, rip it and rip it, like Meredith, got from him. But I'm watching this. It's like get out of the forest so you can see all the trees, right? Is that did I mess that one up? And that
sounds good.
You know what I'm talking about. So you remove yourself and you have that time to say, okay, who am I? What will make me better? It's great. I mean, boy, I'm rooting for him. I am.
Well, two quick outs here in the second inning. There's a Tyler Austin, an old teammate. One thing that Sonny Gray, whatever happens the rest of the way, I think can look himself in the mirror and say, in a bad situation, I was a pretty good teammate. He said all the right thing. He's carried himself the right way. And that's going to go a long way in that clubhouse. Your reputation is a big part of being a big leaguer.
Especially how do you handle yourself when things aren't
going
well.
bad. Yep.
It's easy to whistle through the clubhouse and, smile when you're going well. How do you behave when things aren't good?
Falls behind 2-1 to Tyler Austin. He was battling some back stiffness back in the lineup tonight, DHing. He's shown some power since he's been traded to the Minnesota Twins, part of that Lance Lynn trade. Be interesting to see how Tyler Austin's career plays out, right? Is he an outfielder? First baseman, he's kind of done it all. The one thing he brings is big time power, especially the other way. But maybe sometimes with his Yankee career, maybe a little inconsistent with his at-bats, and kind of be fun to watch to see how he progresses and where his career takes him. 2-2 from Sonny Gray. This ball would be a base hit up the middle, 2-out base hit to Tyler Austin.
Well, it's getting a chance, right?
Yep.
Every player. And it's hard. I mean, you could expand on, not playing every day, getting them maybe a start every 3 or 4 days. Nice hitting right there. A little slider. Got a little too much to the plate for Sonny Gray's liking. Good hitting.
Well, you know what, Al? We get drafted by the organization that drafts us. In Tyler Austin, in that case, it was the New York Yankees in the 13th round. And you're young. You think you're going to play there forever, right? You're never going to get traded. And sometimes a trade is the best thing for you because you get put in a situation where you're able to succeed and play and take advantage.
And the Twins, look, you know, they're watching down the stretch here, right? You know, what do they have? Who is he? Give him a chance.
2 down, bring up Max Kepler. He didn't start last night. He got a pinch hit appearance, 0 for 1. This ball skied to left. Giancarlo Stanton on the move. He's not going to get there, and it's a fair ball. Austin in the 3rd. Kepler will be held to a single. A lot of ground for Giancarlo Stanton to cover, and it just landed in fair territory.
Yeah, we saw Brett Gardner last night cover a lot of ground, and you're right. This is a big, spacious outfield here at Target Field, and just inside the foul line. Not as fast as Brett Gardner. Long way to go. Didn't have a chance at it.
No, it's just too much ground here at Target Field. See Giancarlo looking at the little cheat sheet on where to play. Are Adrianza comes up to the plate with 2 outs. Sonny Gray in a little bit of trouble here. It was 5 up, 5 down. Now a base hit by Tyler Austin, a base hit by Kepler. Adrianza up at the plate. A nice block by Austin Romine. Well, we talked a lot in last night's game about the night that Gary Sanchez had and would he be back in the lineup. He is as the DH, but Sonny Gray has felt more comfortable with Austin Romine, and they're back at it again.
Yeah, listen, I'm all into that. You know, if you have a better relationship for whatever reason, you connect better, the call sequence flows. You want your pitcher comfortable.
Gray falls behind 2-0. Gary Sanchez having a good time with Tyler Austin taking his lead off at third base.
Kepler not a threat to steal. He's got 3 stolen bases, but was caught 5 times. Not a good ratio.
The 2-0 to Adrianza and misses. Sonny Gray all of a sudden losing some of his command, falls behind 3-0. And the numbers for Adrianza: 6 home runs, 32 RBIs, 99 games. You'd assume that he has the green light here, 3-0. That ball's up and in, a 4-pitch walk. So Austin Romine going to take one of those trips to the mound just to settle down his starting pitcher. First time there'll be a runner at second base, I'm sure, going through the signs. His manager Aaron Boone looks on. With 2 down to bring up Williams Astudillo, who's catching tonight. We saw him DHing in last night's game. One of the things that we have seen is he goes up there swinging the bat. Doesn't walk a whole lot, doesn't strike out a whole lot. If you're Sonny Gray, you got to be careful with first pitch. Bases loaded, 2 down. Breaking ball in there for strike 1.
And he takes a pitch. Flash, 40 at bats for Studio. 0 walks and 2 strikeouts. So he is a guy swinging from the on-deck circle. Don't throw him strike.
He had a walk-off home run against the Royals on Sunday and become kind of a fan favorite very quickly here in Minnesota. Ground ball to Gregorius. He's going to flip to Torres. So Sonny Gray got himself in a little bit of trouble. The bottom of the 2nd inning, was able to make a pitch and work his way out of it. The Yankees lead 1-0. Yankees. The conversation tonight, what do you think of the way Tyler Austin has played since he was traded from the Yankees to the Twins? That Bronx Bomber 71, I think Austin has played really well, and with Luke Voigt's recent hot streak, the trade is perfect for both teams, provides a bright spot to a rough season for Minnesota. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using the hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going. Well, the Twins had their opener in Tyler Duffy, and they're making the move to the bullpen already. It'll be Cole Stewart. Starting pitcher would be his 6th appearance, ERA just over 5. So there you go, Al. Your opener throws 2 innings, gives up 1 run, and
4.5 ERA. Yay, we got another pitcher. Exciting stuff, Flash. What's the over-under? 7 pitchers tonight, or 9?
Oh, it's the over-under's 8. How about we do that? I think I'm taking over.
Dang. All right.
First pitch to Austin Romine catching tonight is going to be a ball in.
All right, so let me ask you this. Was that a success for a reliever to start the game? I will not call him an opener. I just did. It's a 4.5 ERA. Are we go with that?
It's yeah, we don't get excited about it, but we're not disappointed either, right? It's just, it is what it is. And listen, we could be involved, if you're a Yankee fan, with a 1-game playoff that could be an opener type situation as Romine taps it right back to Stewart. And it looks like it lines up for the Oakland A's, and if they start a starting pitcher maybe fires in that game, how long does he go 2 or 3 innings and you hand it over to the bullpen, which is a strength of their club. So we're not only talking regular season openers, we could be talking a postseason opener. That's taking it to a whole new level. 1 down, be Gleyber Torres. First pitch swinging, fouls it back.
But I get that, especially with a club. Now listen, not every team has 5 deep, solid starting pitching. Not many teams have 4. Most of them have 3.
Torres right back up the middle. Forsythe up with it. 2 down.
But a 1-game playoff, you betcha. Every guy, they're in the pen. Every starter's in the pen. And just the first smallest slight sign of struggling, even a walk.
It could be the same mentality for the Yankees, right? I mean, you might start J. Happ. You might start Tanaka. And one guy we know that the Yankees aren't going to see is Sean Manaea, who will undergo surgery, arthroscopic surgery on his left shoulder next week.
What a shame. What a year he was
terrible
on.
news for him. 2 down, bring up Andrew McCutchen. Get a base hit his first at bat, but even in the Yankees situation, they'll go to the bullpen earlier in that 1-game situation rather than later. Well, a lot to look forward to. Yeah, the way Luis Severino pitched last year in that wild card game, it basically was a bullpen game, which worked out obviously well for the Yankees.
All right, I'm on the depth chart. I know it's 2 outs, so flip, sorry. Mike Fiers, Trevor Cahill, and Edwin Jackson. Kind of, 30-year-old plus guys that, decent. That's their rotation right now. And their bullpen, arguably, one of the best in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Blake Trinan throwing a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. Familia's been good. Trevino's been unbelievable. Now they got Rodney. Blake Trinan has been unbelievable.
2-out walk to McCutchen. We're going to look at the Indeed player resume on Aaron Hicks. 14th overall pick by the Twins in 2008. Traded from the Twins to the Yankees for John Ryan Murphy in 2015. And those 24 home runs, 68 RBIs this season, career highs and counting. Hicks hit a fly ball to left field his first at bat. I read an article today, and Aaron Hicks had an interesting perspective on Byron Buxton, the center fielder who's now not in the big leagues. Maybe, had a great second half last year, and his perspective was, hey, it just takes time. It took Aaron Hicks some time to develop into the player he is today.
Yeah, that was a good. I read. Was that an Athletic?
No, it was in a local paper here.
I read that. That was good. Well, I mean, listen. Aaron Hicks, 2008, Minnesota Twins, first-round draft pick. Didn't really hit early on. First year, 192. Second year, 215.
There goes McCutchen. The throw, a little bit low, picked by the shortstop Polanco, and it looks like they're going to get Andrew McCutchen. See if the Yankees want to take a look at this one. Second base umpire Quinn Wolcott with the call. Josh Bard on the phone.
Well, he got there. That throw, and you see Polanco coming back. Yeah, it looked like he got him.
It looked like they got him. The tag by Polanco. McCutchen couldn't get that left hand extended to get in there. So a good call by the second base umpire Wolcott. Yankees lead 1-0. We'll be back. Trucks built to serve. Great look from outside Target Field, beautiful city of Minneapolis. Just a perfect time of year for the Yankees to come visit the Twins. Sonny Gray back out on the mound for the bottom of the third inning, back to the top of the lineup. Joe Mauer to lead off, followed by Jorge Polanco and Logan Forsythe. Mauer grounded out in the first. 0 for 4 last night. Great Minnesota Twins player, last year of a contract. A little uncertainty about what his future is going to be and if it will be here in Minnesota.
Yeah, and he has not revealed as to his intention. And has he been? I mean, it's borderline Hall of Famer. Or is he slam dunk? He's got a few batting titles, MVP in 2009. How about that year? 365, 28 home runs.
Fouls that one off. Okay, let's talk about that, but not talk about the numbers, right? I mean,
okay.
You've watched Joe Mauer. You've competed against Joe Mauer, right?
Yeah.
So for the eye test on competing against guys, is he a Hall of Famer? Because that's how kind of I gauge it now. Players that we played against and with. And are they Hall of Famers?
All right, I'm going to say he falls short, and mostly when he came up, he was a catcher.
Yep.
And he's been a first baseman for how many years? So you got to view him differently. And he's never been a home run guy. His best home run year was the year he won the MVP with 28 home runs. Since here at Target, not a friendly place to hit home runs. Now you see his resume.
2009 MVP, 6-time All-Star, 3-time batting champion, 3 Gold Gloves. I'm kind of with you. Right now, I'm not 100% sold that he is a Hall of Famer. He draws a walk here to lead off the third inning. But it'll be interesting to see how the analytic community views him his overall career.
I would guess they probably view him pretty high. His lifetime career on base, 388 coming to until that at bat there, or at least the last 2 at bats. 306 lifetime batting average. Completely legit. Over almost 2,100 hits, sitting on 2,099.
And we'll see where his career takes him. Right, it would just. He's a guy that it seems like he's from St. Paul. He needs to be playing here. He needs to finish it out here. He needs to be that one organization player.
I agree. 35 years old. He should be a Twin for life.
Polanco 0 for 1, hit a looping line drive to Gregorius, his first at bat. You know what? The one thing that the Twins do a really good job of is keeping their players in the organization. Michael Kadire, special assistant, LaTroy Hawkins, Torrey Hunter, Justin Morneau, broadcasting next to us tonight. Still involved, still making decisions. Those guys that you think about, the cornerstones of the Twins organization through the recent years, still part of the organization.
Jack Morris.
Yep. That's flipped the other way. That's going to be a base hit. The Twins have something going here in the 3rd.
Well, Polanco had a couple hits last night. Actually, a good piece of hitting late in the game went the other way. Nice hitting there. A little change up, something soft going down and away. Polanco showed pretty good bat control. He's one of those guys that got hit for PEDs, 80-game suspension. Missed most of the year because of it.
Well, Sonny Gray got himself in a little bit of trouble in the 2nd inning. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Was able to make a pitch and get out of it here. 1st and 2nd, nobody out for Logan Forsythe, who has been much better of a hitter since he's been traded here to the Minnesota Twins than he was with the Dodgers. He went 2 for 4 in last night's game. Takes a fastball up for ball 1.
I liked him with Tampa Bay. Certain guys, they grind at bats. Fight off the pitcher's pitch. Tough, battling. Seems like they're always even a 2-2 count.
Is this fair, though? But I think of Forsythe as a Minnesota Twin type player, a Tampa Bay Ray type player.
Yeah.
LA just doesn't seem like his style of grit and gutty at bats in the way he plays.
Yeah, kind of the Ben Zobrist. Although Ben Zobrist made a career of being so versatile.
Yeah. This looks like he fits in here in Minnesota.
Well, it was a salary offset with Brian Dozier going to LA in that trade. And the Dodgers not wanting to go over the threshold for taxes.
He's been a good hitter here since the trade. 288 batting average. He's driven in 11. Has an opportunity here in the 3rd. Now we're off a 2nd. Polanco off a 1st. Fouled off.
That was a big pitch right there. You got Sonny Gray struggling in a sense. Any leadoff walk and then a little base hit to left. 2-1 count. Get to 2-2 right here. This fastball hits the corner a little up. Kind of a short right center field stroke that just got underneath it. Ground ball pitch here.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. If I'm Austin Romine, what pitch am I calling to get a ground ball? Is it that curveball you're talking about? He's been throwing a little bit more. See here on the 2-2. Goes curveball, just misses off the plate.
Yeah, that was a pretty good take right there. That's a good pitch. Barely off the plate. Went fastball away, foul. That's kind of the money pitch right there. You got Forsythe, good 2-strike hitter.
It's a great shot of Austin Romine kind of looking up at Forsythe, trying to, in his mind, going through all the pitches, the sequences. How did he take that pitch? What should I go with? Here comes the 3-2. Was breaking ball again. It's up, and that's ball 4, and the base is loaded here in the 3rd with nobody out. Yeah. A looping breaking ball there. Not a real good one.
I think it was either an overthrown curveball. I think it was a slider. So he throws the 2 breaking balls. The previous pitch was curve. So this should be a slider, which is a little faster, or no, maybe not. It just slipped out of his hand. That's a curveball that didn't break and up. Actually a hanger.
That's a Sonny Gray in some trouble here. Bases loaded, nobody out for Robbie Grossman. Oh, for one, had lined out to Aaron Hicks, his first at bat. First pitch swinging, big swing and a miss. Our pitchers and catchers and pitching coaches always talk about it before. We got to stay away from the big inning, right? We can give up a run, stay away from the crooked numbers. See if the veteran Sonny Gray, you'd love to get a ground ball. Quickly ahead in the count 0-2.
That's a good pitch right there. Perfect outside corner. Robbie Grossman, guy looked like he was inner half type hitter, wanting the ball in the inner part of the plate and drive it. We got two pitches here. If it's off speed, I know Bauer's at third. Trust your catcher is going to block it.
Austin Romine has to be on top of his game here. See if it's a ball in the dirt. It is. He blocks it, the check swing, and that'll be a strikeout. Good start for Sonny Gray, trying to work his way out of trouble.
Marvin Hudson, third base umpire. Let's take a look here. Yeah, he did. I think even from that angle. Hands go in front of the plate. Let's see if he breaks his wrist in the barrel. Call that a strike.
Good call.
Swing.
Good execution all the way around. Sonny Gray executed pitch in the dirt. Austin Romine kept it in front. Now you start getting a little bit greedy here if you're Sonny Gray, and you start thinking one pitch is 2 outs and I'm out of this inning without any damage. It'd be Jake Cave who hit a ground ball to second his last time. Austin Romine wants to go talk about it.
That hasn't been an issue this year, right? How many do they have the catcher pitcher clock? What do they get? 3, 4, 5?
Jonathan Holder getting ready. I like this trip to the mound right here. The worst thing for a catcher, and you see the mound visits remaining, 4 for the Yankees now. Worst thing for a catcher is when maybe a situation doesn't work out and you're thinking to yourself, I should have went out and talked to my starting pitcher about it. You second guess, you doubt yourself. So good job making sure we're on the same page sign wise. We're on the same page how we want to attack Jake Cave. Works out great. If it doesn't, at least you do it with a clear mind. Bases loaded, 1 down. Breaking ball for strike 1.
Well, looking for a ground ball. Sonny is obviously could get out of it. It's his lowest ground ball rate of his career this year, a little under 50%.
Cave has some power, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs.
Are you throwing anything but that? It's 2 in a row. If you do throw something other than that, it's just to get him off of this pitch. That's 2 swings. Missing it pretty big.
And Austin Romine sitting behind the plate thinking you don't have to do it any better, right? Sometimes pitchers want to get real nasty 0-2. Just do the same thing you just did on that 0-1 breaking ball and take your chances. Comes the 0-2, breaking ball in the dirt. Romine, great play to keep it in front.
Wow. That was a 50-footer? Did that go in front of the bunting circle? Where did this land? I think it did.
Wow. Just trying to get super nasty, right? Just overthrowing it.
See, almost like the high fastball, purpose, and then you come back. Because now it's 3 in a row. Do you go 4 in a row? Just got a report. You got a good fastball hitter, Jake Cave. At least the Yankees know him.
See if they go 4 in a row with the breaking ball. They do. Fouled off.
Yeah, but that was more of the slider.
Yeah.
You know, fastball curveball. I like that. The big depth. Hard to get a called strike, but bigger break. Watch this small break on this. Yeah, that's hittable right there.
Well, there's a lot going on now. You're thinking if you're Austin Romine, 4 breaking balls in a row. Can I go 5? I've done everything inside. Should I go away? Should I elevate a fastball, which is what you wanted to see? There's the 1-2. There's that fastball elevated off the glove of Romine. Mauer will score. We're all tied up at 1.
The setup, you see where Romine set up, and that is just higher than high. Pass ball. That's it. Well, you talk about this, Flash. That's
when you call a high fastball and you set up there and you get the pitcher to execute it, that's just a mistake by Austin Romine that we're not used to seeing. All tied up at 1. Polanco at third now. Forsythe at second. Breaking ball misses down. The Yankees are going to play the defense in on the left side of the infield. Andujar and Gregorius. Torres playing back. Jake Cave has fought his way all the way back to a full count. First base is open. Tyler Austin, the right-handed hitter, waiting on deck.
throw it again.
Threw it 2-2. We'll see if he throws it 3-2. And he does. Hit right back up the middle. Polanco scores. Forsythe scores. And Jake Cave, who saw a steady diet of breaking balls, finally had one that he liked, and he drilled it right back up the middle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a really frustrating at bat for Sonny Gray. Hanger, up, out, over. You help the hitter gain more confidence as he saw more of those pitches. Not a good pitch. I like the selection. It was either one of those first 2 curveballs that he threw. If he does hit it, it's a weak hit ground ball probably to second base. Not a good pitch.
Well, you see that pitch count at 55. Aaron Boone, Larry Rothschild talked about 85 being the max for Sonny Gray, but obviously having a tough time here in the 3rd inning. 3-1 Twins, 1 down here in the 3rd. It'll bring up Tyler Austin, who had a base hit his first at bat. 31 strikes, 24 balls for Sonny Gray. Jake Cave is on the move. Romine up with it. The throw is going to be up the line. Gets away from Torres. Gregorius hustles it up. A stolen base for Jake Cave, his 2nd of the year. It looked like Austin Romine kind of got underneath this, Al.
Yeah, and I also think looked like a good pitch. Fastball up and away. You said it was a perfect angle there. Seeing that ball leak toward the second baseman. Pretty good transfer.
He got his feet kind of crossed up, and then when that happens, you drop your arm angle a little bit, and we'll see if Torres comes up with it. Came down with a clean tag, might have had a play there. It's 1-1 to Austin. This is off the plate away. Those are the numbers for the year for Tyler Austin combined with the Yankees and the Twins. The 15 home runs, 34 RBIs. Played in 85 major league games for the Yankees. Hit 15 home runs in those 85 games. He works underneath this one. It'll be a fly ball to center field. Aaron Hicks settling underneath it. 2 down. Well, 2 down will bring up the right fielder, Max Kepler. He had a base hit his first at bat.
Tell you where this team is offensively. Max Kepler, 48 RBIs, leads the team in RBIs. Been a tough year for the Minnesota Twins.
Well, if you look at all of their offensive categories, they're usually about 10th, 11th, or 12th in the league. As Gray gets ahead with a first pitch fastball. Backdoor breaking ball for strike 2.
Says a lot about the division, Flash. As bad as the year's been, 65 and 78, they're second place. Detroit's 59 wins, the White Sox 56, and Kansas City 48. Not a good year for the Central other than Cleveland Indians.
The 0-2 from Sonny Gray. Fastball inside, misses. Byron Buxton really hasn't been a factor this year. Sano has been hurt, has had a down year. Those are two players they expected to take that next step. They had 85 wins last year. You thought maybe if they can get to 90 this year and take their chances, it just has not worked out that way. Playing out the string here in the month of September. Swing and a miss from Kepler. You see Sonny Gray not happy. Had a rough third inning, gave up 3 runs. The Yankees trail 3-1. It was the only pitcher with at least 30 wins with both the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, that's easy.
Spoken like an ex-pitcher. I don't have this one. We'll find out the answer in the bottom half.
Oh, we can't guess?
You could do whatever you want. You're out lighter.
No, I'll save it.
Our Audi scoreboard, the Yankees trailing 3-1. It'll be Hicks, Andujar, and Stanton. Yankees trying to play a little catch-up. Cole Stewart back out there for his second inning of work. Hicks 0 for 1. Flew out in the first. The Twins playing Aaron Hicks to pull on the ground. They have the shift and shading a little bit for him to pull in the outfield as well. And Aaron has talked about a big change in his career, just trying to get the ball in the air a little bit more. This one's not on the air, on the ground. Polanco up with it, 1 down. We're going to take a look at our Jeep hitters scouting report on Miguel Andujar.
Well, rookie leader in batting average, hits, doubles. You got 40 of them. RBI 79, extra base hits. He's having a heck of a year, folks. Brandon Drury, remember him? He was the opening day starting third baseman for the New York Yankees. Just wanted to remind you. And team MVP, I'll put a question mark. Flash. Where would they be? Who is it? Is it him?
He's got to be in that conversation.
Okay.
Is it Giancarlo Stanton? Could be part of the conversation.
Absolutely.
Gleyber Torres. But this guy has been rock solid and consistent. There haven't been those peaks and valleys that you would expect from a younger player.
Consistency, he's been the best. I mean, how do you deny that? At sitting right at 300, 297 batting average. I know Stanton, Stanton's had hot and cold, right? Started out cold, got hot as a firecracker. There's a little bit of peaks and valleys with Giancarlo, although you can't overlook the 33 home runs and 86 RBIs from Stanton. Obviously, with Judge being hurt, kind of takes him out of the question.
And the one thing about Andujar that has not changed this whole year, and you don't expect it to, with all his success, he's just gone about his business the same way. Very consistent, very quiet, very humble, very appreciative of the opportunity, and knows he has to get better. As he flips one into left field, had to be a base hit. Hits keep on coming for Miguel Andujar.
Fun to watch. It's good hitting. Fooled. Guys that are fooled but still keep their hands back and can still barrel it. Show us there, Flash.
Well, look at from the side, you'd really be able to see how that bat comes all the way towards the pitcher and the extension that keeps him through the zone.
Yeah.
And can hit a bad pitch and be fooled and just extend and flip it to left center field or left field. Wade Boggs talked about that all the time, hitting the baseball and then kind of imagine that there are 4 or 5 baseballs in front of it and continue through to give yourself a chance when you're fooled. Because how many times do you get your A swing off, right? Maybe, I don't know, you hope 40 or 50%. The rest of the time, you're a little fooled, you're a little off balance, and if your swing path can stay through, give yourself a chance. Bring up Giancarlo Stanton. He struck out his first at bat. Playing left field tonight. Last night 1 for 4, had a walk, had a double, a rocket double to center field, an RBI. Scuffling a little bit lately, looking to get back on track, and he's ahead in the count 2-1. You know what, Al, we can talk about Andujar as you see Loizaga getting loose in the Yankee pen and how he's handled himself. How about Giancarlo Stanton coming over to the New York Yankees, big trade, and struggling early. Crowd kind of getting a little anxious, and he's said and handled himself the perfect way as a New York Yankee. He works a walk. The Yankees have something going here in the 4th. 1st and 2nd, 1 down. Bring up Didi Gregorius, hit a triple in the 2nd inning, scored a run on Gary Sanchez's sacrifice fly. Just another solid year for Gregorius. 22 home runs, 75 RBIs, playing a solid shortstop. Yankees looking to answer back here in the 4th. Sonny Gray gave up 3 in the 3rd. Studio wants to go out and have a talk.
Yeah, he's starting to spray it kind of all over the place. Nobody warming up yet for Paul Molitor's Twins out there in the bullpen. Paul Molitor and the Twins used 6 relievers last night after Kyle Gibson pitched the heck of a game, just gave up a long home run to Gary Sanchez in the 6th.
Did you hear what Kyle Gibson said after the game about that home run? It was the 2-0 to Didi, misses down.
No.
And he said, I threw the pitch exactly where I wanted to. It was a good pitch. and Sanchez still hit it out. So which tells me it was the wrong pitch. I shouldn't have gone in. I should have stayed away. Kind of what we were talking about last night. Pitched a good game except for that one pitch as Gregorius works a 4-pitch walk. Bases are loaded with 1 down, and here was that pitch last night.
Well, we talked about it. You see where the glove was. The catcher looked like he was going to catch it off the ground. Here, 460 feet later, third deck here. That was an absolute bomb.
Well, as Gary Sanchez takes on the Twins today by AARP.
Well, some better at bats last night from Gary Sanchez. Of course, that home run we just showed you, but then he kind of flared one to right on a breaking ball and then drove it in the 8th inning off the wall right field.
There's the pitching coach Garvin Alston out to the mound. And Gary Sanchez has to be salivating right now. The 3 hits last night, that drive that you talked about to right field, sacrifice fly in this one. And the bases loaded with 1 down as Andujar takes his lead off of 3rd, Stanton off of 2nd, and Gregorius off of 1st. That home run last night by Sanchez, 460 feet. That fastball misses again, so Stewart falling behind in the count here in the 4th. 414 average with the bases loaded this season, 5 for 8.
9 balls in a row. Are you taking?
Absolutely not.
No.
I'm hunting something middle in, and I'm making sure I get the bat head out. If you make a mistake, make it out in front. Get this ball in the air. Good swing and a miss.
I hear you. I just, on the other side of it, that's what you hope for. I'm struggling. I haven't a clue where I'm throwing it. I now throw a cutter because I just saw this guy hit a ball off the 3rd deck and he swings at a ball. It's almost like, okay, you did me a favor.
I'm back in it now.
I'm back in it. I got 1 out. I'm still 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
Comes a 1-1 from Stewart. Swing and a miss. That sinker down and in. Sanchez isn't thinking about a base hit to right field. He's letting it fly.
That's a good pitch right there, Flash. Sinking fastball that ends up shin high.
Well, the one thing that we've seen when Gary Sanchez is right, we heard about it in the minor leagues. We saw it early in his career. Pitch recognition to be able to stay in counts. Good 2-strike hitter. See if he shortens up here behind in the count 1-2. Trying to make sure you put the ball in play.
At all costs. Less than 2 outs. Get something deep enough. Get a sac fly out of it at a minimum.
Comes 1-2. Fouled off. Like Sanchez maybe having a tough time picking up the spin on that little cutter slider, tight slider.
Cutter. So we got sinker slider coming from Cole Stewart. Little scissor effect. 1 going away, 1 going in. Small little break.
Studio going through the signs. Bases loaded for Sanchez. 1-2 count. This ball hit to shortstop. Could be 2. Over to 2nd. Over to 1st. So Cole Stewart got himself in a lot of trouble in that 4th inning, but comes up with a big pitch. Yankees trail 3-1.
Gary Sanchez, that at bat, bases loaded. The Yankees have something cooking. 1 out after Andujar's base hit. The pitcher throws 9 balls. Ball out of the zone, and then that cutter is 1-0 count. Swings at it. I think Stewart got a little more confidence here. A good sinker down. Kind of just fights off that cutter. Little sinker cutter combo, and then a 2-seamer inner half. About belt high. Just couldn't get the barrel to it. An easy 6-4-3 double play to get Stewart and the Twins out of a little bit of a mess there.
Well, you just broke down that at bat. The 1-0 cutter was the key in that at bat as Jonathan Loaisiga takes over for Sonny Gray in the final line on Gray. 3 innings, 4 hits, gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned. He walked 3, kind of all over the place a little bit, and struck out 2. 63 total pitches. There are the numbers for Loaisiga. Made his 5th major league appearance, his 1st in relief. September 3rd, loss in Oakland through 2 shutout innings. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 for the Minnesota Twins. Our Audi scoreboard as manager Aaron Boone and Larry Rothschild break it down. The Yankees trail 3-1. Loaisiga was impressive in Oakland. Coming out of the bullpen, 2 shutout innings. And a lot of the impressive part about it, that 97-mile-an-hour fastball, Meredith.
There's no question he has an electric arsenal, and Aaron Boone, when asked about him, simply says there is a presence about him. It doesn't seem like anything phases him on the mound. Now, Loaisiga in relief, a little bit of a different look for him. He told me prior to that appearance on September 3rd against the A's, he really picked the brain of Dellin Betances. Wasn't exactly sure how to prepare or how to go about his business in the bullpen. Betances gave him a bunch of tips that clearly seemed to pay off for him, going 2 scoreless, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 4 against the A's. It could be a weapon for the Yankees here down the stretch out of the pen.
Adrianza blocks one off to right field. McCutcheon up with it. Leadoff base hit here to start off the 4th. And Meredith, when you were talking about that, I'm laughing now that younger pitchers are going to Dellin Betances when it always used to be, I went to Mariano Rivera and picked his brain.
It is pretty remarkable, and there are so many guys you can go to in that back end of the bullpen, whether it be Betances or David Robertson, who has closing experience, Britton as well. There are a lot of different arms and great arms back there that you can certainly speak to different people to see exactly how they go about their business. And a lot of these young guys, that's exactly what they're doing right now, trying to figure out how to get better.
A ground ball to Andujar, had a little trouble getting rid of it, did not go to second, took the sure out at first.
Yeah, that little stutter right here. Watch it, goes in the glove and just doesn't get a handle on it. And I think Adrianza may have been safe, so he'd get the shore out, going over to Luke Voigt.
With 1 down, will bring up Joe Mauer. Adrianza now in scoring position. One thing about Joe Mauer, the power numbers may be down, not what we're quite used to seeing earlier in his career. But he has hit well with runners in scoring position this year, just under 390.
A play like that, I know it's part of it, Flash, but yeah, you got what looks like an easy double play.
It's deflating, right?
A little. You know, you get the ground ball. By all rights, should be a 5-4-3 double play. You got a runner in scoring position. You got Joe Mauer. Watch here. Let's see, Adrianza. Yeah, he's easily got it. I think he pulled his head up right before he got a handle on the baseball and just bobbled it. That's an easy double play.
Be a 1-1 to Mauer. A good fastball again at 97, just misses off of the plate.
Yeah, you talk about electric arm. Loizaga in minor leagues, 159 innings. All starts, 39 starts in the minor leagues.
Goes changeup and gets strike 2. So the fastball's 97, 98. The changeup is about 87.
So long as you show good arm speed, that's a pretty fast changeup. Missed his location. Wanted to go away, ended up throwing inside.
You call up some of these young pitchers, you know, September call-ups, and they go into the bullpen, and all of a sudden stuff gets a little bit better. You don't have to think about navigating a lineup a few times. You just let it fly. A nasty pitch down and in to get Joe Mauer. 2 down.
Wow, you don't see that much. Joe Mauer's a good eye. One of the better, more patient hitters in baseball, certainly in his career. Just did not see it. What an electric slider. 73rd strikeout on the year for Joe Mauer on the Mercedes-Benz Yesmo. There's a good grip. Look at that good shot right there. Get on top of it. Good spin. Don't see that a whole lot.
2 down to bring up Jorge Polanco. He's been swinging a hot bat in this series. Couple of hits last night, some good at bats. Has a base hit tonight already. Adrianza taking his lead off a second. Good fastball for strike 1. Take a look at the fast pitch speed analytics, which is sponsored by Fios by Verizon. 97 miles an hour on that last heater from Loizaga. Loizaga made 4 starts with the Yankees this year. It'll be a 1-2 to Polanco. Goes breaking ball, and that's hammered into right field. So Polanco continues his hot hitting. Adrianza scores easily. A big 2-out knock from Jorge Polanco. Second hit of the game. Twins now lead 4-1.
Yeah, that's one of those, you know, you had a chance to get out of the inning. Andujar not getting a handle on that, what looked like a double play ball. Slider that just stayed middle. Haven't seen a whole lot of Jorge Polanco, but in these 2 games, Flash, been impressive. Ball away, goes the other way. This is a slider up in the zone. I wouldn't call it a hanger, but just didn't bury it. Watch the location here. Yeah. Kind of left it middle of the plate. Loizaga knew it.
Yeah, switch hitter had good at bats against Jay Happ last night. Through 6 shutout innings. 2 down to bring up Logan Forsythe.
Yeah, you get the strikeout of Joe Mauer, and you get in the 2-strike count. It's about executing and burying the pitch when you got it. If you got a hitter on the ropes, 2-strike counts, 0-2, 1-2. Put them away.
Yeah, and those 2-out RBI base hits are so deflating, right? I mean, you're right there. You make 1 pitch, you work your way out of it. Now quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 to Logan Forsythe. Loizaga trying to minimize the damage here. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses. Good take by Forsythe. 4-1 Twins. They scored 3 times in the third, added 1 here in the fourth. Be a 2-2 from Loizaga. Fastball fouled straight back.
After that last breaking ball, that's a pitch right there. Again, a very hittable pitch. Love his arm, Loizaga, 97. How do you not? Good changeup, slider combo, 3 pitches.
Well, the Yankees have won 8 consecutive games against the Twins. They're going to have to come back tonight if they want to continue that.
Even further, since Paul Molitor's managed the team, out of 25 games, the Yankees are 20-25.
Since the Yankees have played at Target Field, it opened in 2010, they're 23-8. The best record at any American League stadium over that span. They got some work to do tonight. 2-2. Perfect pitch for Loizaga. Picks up a strikeout. It gets out of this 4th inning. But the Twins add on an RBI double by Polanco. They lead 4-1. It's going to be interesting to follow, see if Donaldson is a healthy player who can help them. On our GMC scoreboard, the Yankees trailing 4-1. Top of the 5th inning. Luke Voit, Austin Romine, and Gleyber Torres for the Yankees trying to get back in this thing. You see Voit with those 8 home runs. He has 7 home runs in his last 16 games. Quickly behind the count, 0-2. Cole Stewart still in there, 3rd inning of work. A big double play of Gary Sanchez to end the 4th inning. Comes a 2-2 to Voit, and that's going to catch a piece of him. Got away from Stewart.
Well, he would. It was all sliders until this, and that's not even close. This one behind him. Yeah, you can't get out of that. That belt might have helped him a little.
Can't hurt Luke Voigt.
No, I know. He is a
big man.
Big guy. Saw some video. Did you see video of him lifting like, I don't know, 1,000 pounds?
Is that right?
Yeah, there was like a viral video. He's like, I don't know. It looked like a lot of weight. Kind of deadlifts or something.
Now to bring up Austin Romine, tap one back to the pitcher, his first at bat. Romine now with 10 home runs. With that home run the other way in Seattle. Gets jammed here to Forsythe, to Polanco. It'll be another double play for the Twins, as we're going to toss it back to our studio and Bob Lorenz. Well, thank you very much, Bob. And you would just on paper assume that that would be a good matchup for the Athletics. You see the wild card, Yankees up 3. Athletics up by plenty, 7.5 on Seattle. And the Rays kind of hanging around as Gleyber Torres, first pitch swinging, skies it to the middle of the field. Looks like Logan Forsythe will be underneath it. So the double play has been a factor tonight for the Minnesota Twins, playing some good defense. Yankees trail 4-1. To September 21st, 2001, a very emotional night at Shea Stadium. Mike Piazza with the big home run off of Steve Carsey, which ended up being a New York Met win. But again, Al, an emotional night at Shea Stadium.
Yeah, rather secondary to everything that went on in our country, the world for that matter. But what a moment. And also, when that happened, realized, we were all kind of in the same, should we be playing?
Yeah.
Like maybe the end of the season. Remember, that was like a big conversation. But when Mike hit that home run, the place went bananas. And realized, no, baseball is going to heal a lot of people, take them away from sadness.
Loizaga deals a first pitch strike, and you always think back to where you were. I was playing for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time and was on the disabled list. And all of this was going down in New York, where I grew up outside of New York City. And just that feeling, Al, of being vulnerable, right? You couldn't do anything. And I couldn't imagine being in New York on that day.
Amazing. And, having been able to do some pretty cool things in this sport, that night is so emblazed in my mind and everybody that was there, and how meaningful and sad, and the emotions at every different uber level. Unforgettable. Periodically, not just on 9/11 every year, but I think about it. Because where we were, Flash, New York City put like a staging area in the parking lot at Shea Stadium. Trucks and supplies, and it was a big warehouse, basically, think of it. And it was nonstop 24/7 from Shea Stadium parking lot down to ground zero. So a lot of it we saw, up front, very firsthand.
And I heard John Smoltz talking about that game today, and to your point, he said the baseball was secondary. It didn't matter who won or who lost. It was just kind of getting back to it, and I can't even imagine the emotions of being there that night. 3-2 from Loizaga, and that's going to miss. So a leadoff walk here by Robbie Grossman in the 5th.
Well, that's one thing Loizaga does not do. Great command. I mean, he throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk a whole lot.
We'll bring up Jake Cave. He had that big base hit against Sonny Gray right back up the middle, drove in a few runs. Well, the Twins have put 4 runs on the board already, looking to add on. They have 6 hits tonight. Sir James Rowson, the hitting instructor for the Minnesota Twins. It's kind of been a rough year offensively for them, but looking pretty good tonight. And Rowson, one of those guys, went to Mount St. Michael High School in the Bronx. 9th round draft pick by the Seattle Mariners, and excellent Seattle Mariners scout Tom McNamara drafted him, spent some time as a hitting guy with the Yankees, and getting a chance here the last couple of years in Minnesota. One of the good guys. Does a good job. You always got to give a little props to the Mount St. Michael guys too.
Well, their pitching coach too, right? Garvin Alston, same high school as Ken Singleton, Mount Vernon.
Yep. Jake Cave, line drive into right field. His good night continues. 2 for 3 with a couple RBIs.
A hanging changeup up in the zone. Jake Cave does a good job of staying on it. His pitch is designed to go down and away, start maybe thigh high. Just left it up.
Well, Jake Cave spent some time in the Yankee system. Tyler Austin, 13th round pick in 2010 by the Yankees. DHing tonight. Well, Austin part of that Lance Lynn trade, and we talked about it a little earlier. I think a trade that's worked out well for both sides. Lance Lynn, the veteran, gets a chance with the Yankees, has done a nice job, and Tyler Austin, the younger type player, gets a chance with a younger team. Let's see if he can take advantage of his at-bats. I was traded from the Boston Red Sox to the Detroit Tigers and was devastated. Right? You get drafted by a team, you come up through the system, you think you're going to play there hopefully your whole career, and then all of a sudden, in the matter of one phone call that took about 30 seconds from Dan Duquette, it was, hey, John, traded you to the Detroit Tigers. Their GM will be calling. Usually these things work out. Good luck. Boom. Hangs up.
I think that was 8 seconds.
And as that quickly, you're moving on. And it took me about a month to get over that. It really did. It took me a long time.
Huh.
And it turned out to be probably the best thing that ever happened in my career. I got a chance to play, all of a sudden gained some confidence, and moved on.
Who were you traded for?
Rich Rowland.
Rich Rowland, yeah. Wasn't he a scout with the Yankees?
I don't think so. He was a big lumberjack of a catcher that turned out to be a few years older than he actually said he was. So Boston ended up getting rid of him, but
outfielder.
Catcher.
Oh, catcher. Yeah. Rich Rowland.
What about your trade?
So Yankees, you know, I signed out of high school 3 years later and pitched in Yankee Stadium. I was there for a couple years, and same thing, very, very sudden and abrupt. Actually happened during a game. Dallas Green was the manager. Sid Thrift / Bob Quinn were the GMs, I think, something like that. There was a couple of them. And Dallas Green got a call from upstairs, called me in the office at Yankee Stadium, so we just traded you to the Blue Jays for Jesse Barfield. Bob Quinn and Sid Thrift are coming down. And good luck. Shook my hand and went back out to the game.
Pack your bag and see you later.
And I'm like, what? Toronto? You know, I grew up down the Jersey Shore and, you know, familiar with, obviously, Yankee baseball and been there a ton of times. And like, oh, no, this is all terrible. But you're right, long on the long run. I mean, I had some arm issues that took me a while to get back, but there's a reason for everything.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out for Tyler Austin. As you can see, the Yankees down to 1 mound visit remaining. First and second, nobody out. The 2-2. Breaking ball misses off the plate.
Troy Benjamin, our producer tonight. Donnie Rowland is the international scout for the Yankees. I knew there was a Rowland somewhere.
Grossman off a second. Jake Cave taking his lead off of first. This is a big pitch coming up from Loizaga. I say it all the time, you throw a breaking ball 2-2. Should have the confidence to throw it again 3-2. We'll see what he comes with. Goes fastball, misses off the plate. Bases loaded, nobody out. A walk, a base hit, another walk, and Loizaga's in big trouble. Grossman, Cave, Tyler Austin. On base for Max Kepler. There's a base hit and a strikeout. Chance to extend the lead for the Twins. That fastball misses again.
Start forcing it. Start trying to get too perfect. Especially early in the count. It puts you in a bad hitter's count, the 2-0-2-1. Then you start trying to get even finer.
Again, misses away. If you're Austin Romine, you're thinking double play, but I don't see Loizaga's stuff as really the double play ground ball type stuff.
I'm with you.
It's more strikeout type stuff. Straight fastball with good velocity, good changeup, and the big breaker. The 2-0 comes up and in off the glove of Romine. They don't get the call.
Well, that's a strike right there. From the looks of our pitch cast. Wait a minute,
there's a foul ball, maybe.
Yeah, what did it deflect off of? That's a foul, wasn't it?
That's what manager Aaron Boone is saying. Yeah, there's a foul ball.
It's got, I mean, why wouldn't he have been able to catch it? That's what I didn't know.
It's home plate umpire James Hoy.
It redirected. Watch the redirection. Back that up. Right there. Right there.
Foul ball.
Foul ball. You could see, watch it instead of. So this must be a reviewable. He's asking for help on the baselines. Now, James Hoy, the home plate umpire, should absolutely defer to either Marvin Hudson, the third base umpire, as the crew chief, or Schornbaumer.
Wouldn't you think just at least talk about it?
Yeah. And how did he not hear that? I mean, he would have caught it.
It's not as definitive from above as it was looked from the center field camera. It's all said and done. It's a 3-0 count. And that one misses badly down, so Loizaga 3 walks in this inning, walks in a run. The Twins now lead 5-1. Well, the base on balls was a big part of last night's game. The Minnesota Twins walked 10 Yankees. The Yankees took advantage of it. Tommy Kahnle getting loose. And Larry Rothschild's going to go out and have another talk. And that'll do it for the mound visits for the Yankees tonight.
Wow, that might be a first. And I say Loizaga throws strikes. I mean, he's not here tonight. In 159 innings, 159 2/3, 160 innings, 28 walks.
But I'm with you, Al. It looks like he's just trying to be perfect, right? Trying to dot corners instead of maybe cutting the plate in half. And the Yankees are out of mound visits.
I mean, what he showed in coming in Oakland, he was electric.
Yeah.
I watched that game. It was just explosive fastball. He's got great stuff, no question about it. I don't see why in his time in the minor leagues. A little straight on the fastball, I think, just from what I'm seeing on a, from our camera angles. Might want to try to come up with develop a two-seam of some sort.
I'm going to bring up Adrianza, who has a chance to blow this one wide open. Bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch changeup, a swing and a miss. He walked, has a single, scored a run. Loizaga trying to minimize the damage here in the 5th. Walk to Grossman, base hit by Jake Cave, walk to Austin, and they walk to Kepler. 1 run in already. Another good changeup. Heading the count 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups 0-2. This is where if you are ground ball, you think ground ball here. Something that has some action down in the zone, swing and a miss would be great. Put in play, put it on the ground.
Yankees playing the defense back, looking for that ground ball. It's played by Romine.
Well, slider, nice play again. Romine staying down on it right in front of him.
It's a slider, but it kind of goes straight down, right? Doesn't have that kind of tilt across the plate.
Small break.
Yeah. Well, it's been changeup for strike 1, changeup for strike 2, slider down in the dirt. If he tries to sneak a fastball by him here, goes changeup again, pulled foul. And you think back to that mound visit by Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach. Hey, the fastball's not working. We might want to go to plan B. Changeup, slider, changeup. It's the 1-2. Goes fastball up in the zone. Picks up a strikeout. 1 down.
Great sequence. All soft. 3 of the 4 previous pitches were changeup, and then here's high fastball. You see where Romine wanted it inside, but tough to lay off. Plate coverage, let her high. Adrianza just couldn't lay off. Some high cheese right there. Good pitch.
Well, they bring up the catcher tonight, Williams Astudillo. This is a double play candidate. He will swing early in the count. He's aggressive. Doesn't run well. Loizaga looking to make a big pitch. Slider misses. Oh for 2, couple of ground balls. Fouled off.
Big timing guy right here.
Yeah, the month of September, you get information on hitters, but until you actually see them or get a feel for what their style is.
Watch his hands. Lost the Dio.
Fastball in. Fly ball to right field. McCutchen on the move. not going to be able to come up with it. It's going to be a base hit as Cave scores. Twins lead 6-1.
Cedillo trying to come inside. This is just sawed off, strong enough, pulled his hands in enough to be able to get a barrel to it, but just lobbing a little pitching wedge right there down the right field line. McCutcheon couldn't get to it. Another tack-on run by the Twins. That'll be all.
Manager Aaron Move making the call to the bullpen. It'll be Tommy Kahnle coming in. We'll be back. 6-1 Twins. They're going to have to make a pitching change going to Tommy Kahnle. And location got away from Loizaga.
Yeah. I mean, that really was it, right? You lead off a leadoff walk to Grossman, a single, and 2 more walks. It just, he lost the plate.
So Kahnle made his 18th appearance of the season Wednesday. He lost at Oakland. He struck out the only batter that he faced. Comes into a tough spot here. Joe Mauer up with the bases loaded, only 1 down. Mauer 0 for 2. He walked in the 3rd, scored a run. Twins up 6-1, looking to blow it open as Loizaga is a spectator in that Yankee dugout. I told you Joe Mauer doesn't swing at a lot of first pitches, but this might be a spot where he will. As the fastball misses up and away. Tyler Austin off a 3rd, Kepler off a 1st, Studio off a 1st. There's a strike from Kahnle. Kahnle has that good fastball and that hard changeup. Not much separation between the two. This means location on that changeup has to be a little bit better. 1-1 to Mauer. Fastball dots the outside corner, quickly ahead in the count 1-2.
I mean, that's 97 down and away on the black. What a year Tommy Kahnle had last year between the White Sox and the Yankees. 69 games, 2.59 ERA.
Comes 1-2. Goes changeup down in the dirt. One thing about Joe Mauer, when you think about his great career, the one spot that you could get him was up and in. But if you missed and you went down and in, that was his happy zone. A lot of left-handed hitters the same way. But anything out over the plate, up, out, over, or down and in, is where he likes it. See where Canely goes. Change up, down and in. He takes it. Is this one of those situations, Al? 3-2, bases loaded, 1 out. Here's my best fastball out over, and I got to take my chances.
And if he could duplicate that strike two, perfect down and away. I'm with you. All right, you got bases loaded. You throw 97. Trust that down and away window.
Romine going through the signs. 3-2 from Canely. He goes fastball down the middle. Maurer hits it deep to center field. Hicks back, and that one is gone. A grand slam for Joe Maurer, and the Minnesota Twins lead 10-1.
Well, we'll go pitch by pitch right here. We see what a first pitch fastball up in the zone, then fastball gets in the count. See him taking, and that was perfect. That was a dotted fastball down the way. Then he goes 2 changeups in a row. Canely does that one in the dirt. He trusted it. You got a guy with a great eye, doesn't strike out a whole lot, and that is center cut down the middle. Knew it right away. Twins opening this game up big time.
Joe Maurer just got a curtain call. Fan favorite here at Target Field. Joe Maurer only has 6 home runs, but that was a big one. Grand slam. Twins have put 6 on the board here in the 5th. Well, we mentioned he's in the last year of his contract. Fans not real sure what's going to happen in the future.
That was a punch in the gut right there. Dropping 6th spot in the 5th inning.
You know, we talked about Target Field being a bigger and tougher ballpark to hit in. When he hit that, wasn't quite sure if he still had that type of power. Go dead central.
Wow, I mean, this he hit on almost up on the batter's eye back there. It was 403 to the fence. Does that make it to the batter's eye?
It's a 1-2 to Polanco. Changeup misses inside. You know, we went through that pitch by pitch, and you just tell he was seeing the ball good right out of Canely's
with
hand.
the changeups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of movement.
Well, you're going to get 2 pitches from Tommy Canely, that fastball changeup. When you're ahead, I mean, explosive fastball, plus. Good action on a changeup.
Two. Just misses away. A long road trip for manager Aaron Boone. Yankees lost 2 out of 3 in Oakland, won 2 out of 3 in Seattle, and you come here to Minnesota thinking we've dominated this team recently. As Polanco does it again. Another base hit for him. That's 3 hits on the night for Jorge Polanco. At 2 last night, 5 hits in the series already.
I don't know much about Jorge Polanco, but he's looked good in these 2 games here.
Well, things not looking good here tonight, and Luis Severino will be the starting pitcher. 3rd game of the series. There's a lot going on there. Looking to get back on track, coming off a rough outing in Oakland. I think he's hoping they see some signs of him moving in the right direction. It'll be interesting to see what the lineup looks like tomorrow, right? Romine catching tonight. Sanchez caught Severino in Oakland. Maybe not quite on the same page. As Forsythe hits a ground ball to Gregorius, over to Torres, over to Voit. A 6-4-3 ends the bottom of the 5th, but the damage has been done. 10-1 Twins. Every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this limited time offer. You see that gentleman, nice little stroll to pick up that Joe Mauer Grand Slam home run baseball. As the Yankees trailing 10-1, top of the 6th, top of the lineup coming up again. McCutchen, Hicks, and Andujar against Cole Stewart, who's still in there. This is badly again. Almost got a piece of McCutchen.
I mean, I know it was a long inning, but Cole Stewart, those 3 aren't even close. You're up by 9.
There he goes, strike 1. I'm glad to hear you actually say that as a pitcher, because everybody else, catchers, infielders, fans, think the same thing. Not that hard. That misses badly again.
Something doesn't look. It looks like maybe he's just trying to throw a strike, or something doesn't look right.
That's the 5th walk of the series already for Andrew McCutchen.
What's this throw here, Flash?
Flying open a little bit, working underneath it.
This looks like he's just trying to.
You see May getting loose in the Twins bullpen. Aaron Hicks 0 for 2. Well, this gets to the point in the game you're down by 9. You're in the 6th inning. And it all becomes about that professional at bat. You know, when Paul O'Neill talks about all the time how valuable a big league at bat is, and you never want to just give them away. So these at bats will tell you something about a guy grinding it out, making a pitcher like Stewart earn it.
Is it my observation or am I off? But it seems a while ago that there were more guys that would admit that they threw a bat away here or there. And today, I don't see that. All right, here, let me ask you. Once upon a time, not that you're trying to not get a hit, but just where the at bat's over and you go back to the dugout, like, what was I doing?
You know what it is? It's more this isn't a big spot here for Aaron Hicks, right? So it's easy to kind of let up a little bit mentally, and you have to dig in there and compete against that guy out on the mound. So you don't have that feeling when you're in the dugout saying, I just gave one away. And you're probably the only guy who knows it. That's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
Well, Hicks has fought his way back to a full count here. Cutchin takes his lead off of first. Be a ground ball right back up the middle. Should be 2, maybe not with the way Hicks runs, and it's not. Tough guy to double up, Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, that transfer looked slow to me. Let's see now. We have, who's getting this here? Is that Adrianza?
Looks like Polanco to Adrianza.
Polanco. Okay, here. So two-seamer away, pulls off it. Hicks got good speed, keeps his head down, run through the bag. Beats out a potential double play. See Polanco, a little too much airtime and the speed of Hicks. Beats it out.
One down, bring up Miguel Andujar. He hit into a double play his first at bat. Had a base hit in the 4th. Batting average at .299 for Miguel Andujar. 79 RBIs. You know, Al, we talk about giving at bats away as a hitter, and I'm sure it's got to feel the same type of way with a 9-run lead where you're out there just saying, all I got to do is throw strikes. So you almost get away from competing, and you're like, just throw the ball over and take my chances. As Miguel Andujar picks up another base hit, Aaron Hicks will stop at second. A 2-for-3 night for Miguel Andujar.
Yeah, nice job right there. You see the big overshift. Forsythe on the shortstop side of the bag. Andujar gets a ball out over, stays on it. What about overshifting on Andujar? My 300 hitters, it's a reason why they're batting 300. Basically, you use much of the field or the whole field. I'm sure there's some metric somewhere showing that he doesn't hit a whole lot of grounders over there.
With one down to bring up Giancarlo Stanton. Struck out his first at bat, walked his last time.
Yeah, I think you described it nicely for a pitcher. That's kind of what I was seeing with Stewart. Got the 9-run lead, get ahead, throw strikes. It looked like he was just trying to play catch with McCutcheon. He goes 3-0. And then you're fighting between, do I pitch? Do I just throw it over the plate? Do I use all my pitches? Well, 2 back-to-back breaking balls right there.
Well, you get the feeling if you're the Yankees, obviously you have to slug your way back into this one. You know, big swing of the bat from Stanton. Maybe you get something going. Comes a 1-2. Breaking ball misses down. A little cutter. Well, the managers start managing. Paul Molitor thinking about how can I use my bullpen to finish this one out. I'm sure Aaron Boone thinking if we don't get anything going here in the next couple of innings, maybe I get some of my regulars off their feet. That fastball just misses in the check swing. Says no, first base umpire Sean Barber.
Now here's the overhead look. No, I think that was the right call. Close.
Be a 3-2 to Stanton. That's going to miss down. A couple of walks in this inning, a base hit by Andujar. The bases are loaded, and Paul Molitor is not going to waste any time making that call to the bullpen. Cole Stewart gave him a couple of innings, got a little erratic here in the 6th. It's going to be May on for the Minnesota Twins as they lead 10-1 here in the 6th. We'll be back. When the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. It's Yankees t-shirt day, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees t-shirt courtesy of Sato. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops are called Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Pitcher for the Minnesota Twins going to be Trevor May. Look at his numbers, 17th game. 4-1 record, 3.57 ERA. He's only walked 4 in his 17 2/3. Didi Gregorius with a chance to get the Yankees back in this one, or at least chip away at it a little bit. He's 1 for 1 with a triple. The Yankees have the bases loaded, 1 down. Trying to slug their way back in this one. That fastball misses up and in.
Well, this game is far from over. I know you see the 10-1. Yankee fans are saying, huh? The Yankees put on a 6 spot in the 7th inning last night. And this Twins bullpen hasn't done a great job this year.
As Aaron Hicks takes his lead off of third and Andujar off of second. Giancarlo Stanton breaking it down with Joe Mauer. Yeah, you're right. This isn't a luxury for Paul Molitor that he knows I have a 7, 8, 9 guy and they're locked down. It's kind of mixing and matching.
Which is kind of how I feel, how this game, I don't know if they're going to come back and score 10 more runs, but it just, what we saw last night was not impressive.
As Gregorius hammers this one to right field, it's deep and it's gone. A grand slam for Didi Gregorius, and just like that, 10-5 Twins.
Well, that's a wow swing. No question about it. 1-0 count. 23 home runs on the year for Didi.
how quickly it happens. A couple of walks, a base hit, and one swing of the bat, and the Yankees right back in it.
And watch how quick this goes out. Middle of the plate. There's a little overhang porch, right field. Welcome back, Didi. Sits up there nicely in a little flower box. He's got the two hard ones out of the way. Didi, triple and home run. Just saying.
Well, Sanchez hit that home run last night, his 16th of the year, 460 feet. Didi Gregorius, 390. More in a line. You're right, 23 home runs, 79 RBIs now for Gregorius. It's a nice luxury to have for a guy who plays great defense at short as Sanchez expands out of the zone, 2 down. We're going to look at Didi's home run on StatCast, which is powered by AWS. StatCast AI, powered by AWS. 102.8, exit velo, launch angle 20 degrees. I already told you the 390 feet. Two down, bring up Luke Voit. Voit 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Breaking ball misses. Two 2-1 to Voit. Dots the outside corner. Voit can't believe it.
Well, that looked pretty good. Pitch cast had it as a strike.
And goes up with the fastball, does May, but Didi Gregorius with his 23rd home run of the year, a grand slam. Just what the doctor ordered for the New York Yankees. They're right back in it. 10-5 Twins. We'll be back. From this season airing back-to-back. Get the behind-the-scenes story of the 2018 Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders this Thursday starting at 7 o'clock. Only on Yes. And those Rail Riders International League playoffs, playing the Durham Bulls.
Boy, it's late in the year, right? I didn't know they went that far into September.
Yeah, Rail Riders having another good year. And you think about all the players that have made their appearance in the big leagues, and they're still grinding it out. So congratulations on another great year in Scranton. As Tommy Canely back out for the 6th inning. Robbie Grossman is 0 for 2. Jake Cave and Tyler Austin. Boy, the Yankees really need a shutdown inning from Canely right here after that Gregorius grand slam in the top half of the 6th. Manager Aaron Boone giving Canely an opportunity here to come back out. And Aaron Boone still trying to win this game, obviously. The Oakland A's have won their game in Baltimore. The Yankees presently sitting 2.5 games up on that wild card. So Aaron Boone showing some trust in Canely to have a shutdown inning here as Grossman flips one foul.
Well, I'm trying to look at the usage on the road trip, Flash. You're thinking, okay, go-to guys: Green, Robertson, of course, Betances, Britton.
But the guy I think about right away is Green. Come in for a little shutdown or maybe 2, keep you in it and give you a chance. And Aaron Boone going with Canely.
So he threw two innings on Sunday. So in Seattle, that's probably it.
Yep.
2 perfect innings, 3 Ks.
Well, in these type of games, when you gain some momentum back with that swing by Gregorius, the shutdown inning following it up is huge. Comes a 2-2 to Grossman. Slap the other way. It looks like that's going to be an infield hit for Robbie Grossman. So the shift will take away some hits, but in this situation, a gift for Robbie Grossman.
Well, you could see that swing even from that angle, that he tried to go that way. And I thought the previous 2 pitches before that, Canely threw a nice changeup and Grossman barely hit it foul. That ball was purposely, he's staying as deep and late as possible to get on base. Leadoff batter, you just mentioned it. The Yankees come back and score, get closer with the 5 runs.
There's a look at the arms in the bullpen for the Yankees. Canely, Loizaga have already been used in the game. And there is no action in that Yankee bullpen here in the 6th. Brings up Jake Cave, who's had himself a good ball game. 2 base hits, couple RBIs. Stole a base, scored a run.
You know, just watching that Robbie Grossman going the other way, and I remember, you know, overshift. I don't know how many years ago is it now that we've been talking about it. It's almost now we don't talk about it.
No,
you know, it's just that's what it is. There's what 30-40,000 shifts now in the game. What's considered an overshift is at least 3 defenders on one side of second base.
Comes the 0-2 to Cave. Change up. Good pitch. Strike 3. 1 down.
That's a good pitch. And the reason why Jake Cave couldn't pull the triggers, that ball was inside. This is a changeup. Now the changeup, he's trying to actually go down and away and end up staying middle in. I mean, it turns out to be a great pitch. You got Tommy Canely, 97, 96. So a little 88 mile-an-hour changeup inside corner.
I'm glad you bring up the shifting and how we just take it for granted. Now I remember the first time I saw the shift, and it was against Robinson Cano when he was a New York Yankee. Yankees were playing down in Tampa, and I was on that series. As Tyler Austin steps up to the plate, big swing and a miss at a changeup. And Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, put the shift on against Robinson Cano. And my first thought is, We watch this guy hit every day. We know he's line to line. There's not really much of a shift here. And I asked Joe the next day, I'm like, why would you do that to Robinson Cano? And he said, I know he's going to get his hits, but if I can make him think a little bit about why are they shifting me, then I've accomplished something. I've made him think as opposed to feeling comfortable up there. That has kind of evolved now into the metrics and the analytics support making the decision to shift.
Which now it's interesting that you brought that story up, because now you hear guys saying they're now hitting over the shift. Back Carpenter with the Cardinals, who's having an excellent year.
Fastball just misses, and
you know he's actually changed his swing to have this uppercut hit over the shift. 30+ homers. I think he's pushing up on 40 home runs.
Grossman off of first. It'll be a 1-2 to Tyler Austin. Swing and a miss, 2 down.
Well, the first pitch changeup of that at bat kind of set up the whole at bat. Then just fastball. You could see where Austin Romine wanted that up, but 97. That's actually off the plate. It was a ball, but good explosive fastball from Tommy Kahnle.
2 down. I'll bring up Max Kepler. Kepler hits this ball hard to right field. Does it have enough? No, it's going to be off the wall. Grossman in the third, Kepler in the second with a 2-out double.
Oh, lucky for Tommy Kahnle and the Yankees. That is middle of the plate. Max Kepler did not wait. You got the high wall here. Target field, not an easy place to hit a home run. We saw Didi do it, had a lot of topspin. Keeping that ball inside the ballpark with 2 outs.
Well, this becomes a big situation, getting back to what we were talking about, the shutdown innings. Second and third, 2 down. Adrianza, he's had a base hit, walked. You know, Al, you talk about guys hitting the ball over the shift and launch angle, and I mentioned that trade. I got traded to the Tigers and I got sent down to the minor leagues, and Larry Parrish, and he didn't talk launch angle then, but he said, get the ball in the air. You can't run a lick. It doesn't do any good to hit base hits. It changed my thinking and kind of changed my career. The 1-0 skied to left field, be an easy play for Stanton. So Kahnle got himself in a little bit of trouble, able to work his way out of it. It's 10-5 here. The Yankees looking to fight back. We'll be back for the 7th. Home and abroad. September 11th, 2011, we shall not forget, and we never will, as we are back for the top of the 7th. Flags flying at half-mast tonight. A new pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, Taylor Rogers, left-hander, takes over. His 65th game, having a good year. The ERA just over 3. Only 14 walks and 59 2/3. So Paul Molitor going to one of his main guys here in the 7th inning against Austin Romine, Gleyber Torres, and Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, we did not see Taylor Rogers yesterday of the 6 relievers. Typical lefty. He's not going to really blow by guys, although he has get it up to 92, 93, or 94. Curveball's his out pitch.
Tarpley getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Romine a little bit late on the fastball.
95.
Romine 0 for 2, couple of ground balls, 4.63 double play his last time. There's the 0-2, and there's that breaking ball Al was talking about, skied to center field. Jake Cave underneath it, 1 down. Now a quick word from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet. No data caps, no contracts. Just faster speeds with better performance.
1 down, bring up Gleyber Torres. Ground out and a pop out. He had a base hit and an RBI in last night's game. Another strike from Rogers. You look up at the scoreboard. The Boston Red Sox beat the Toronto Blue Jays 7-2. Chris Sale came back in that game, only threw a couple of innings, or at least that was the game plan. And with that, the Red Sox clinch a playoff spot. As Torres hits this ball hard to left, Grossman underneath it makes the play. 2 down.
Chris Sale, what, 1 inning, 26 pitches?
I thought the plan was two innings.
2 or 40 pitches.
Don't know how far he went. 1 inning, 26 pitches.
Huh. I wonder if something was up. Yeah, because I read the same story. 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts for Chris Sale.
2 down, bring up Andrew McCutchen. Continues his good series here in Minnesota. A base hit, couple of walks. Has walked 5 times in 2 games. Buddy Bob Lorenz is texting me that Chris Sale threw that 1 inning and then he went out to the bullpen and continued to throw. Getting some work in.
So 26, they figured if he goes out there, exceeds the 40, take him out.
What would be the benefit of that, though? Is instead of throwing the competitive inning after it?
The benefit of maybe going over and having to take him out in the inning? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like my point is, you go out and you throw 1 inning, what, 26 pitches?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to take him out in the middle of an inning. So, getting back to the opener, Chris Sale is now the opener.
Oh, God.
But even getting ready, Al, for a postseason run, he's got to get his pitch count up, doesn't he? I mean, to 80 at least.
All right, so I would say at least 80.
McCutchen pops it up to the right side. Mauer underneath it, makes the play. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Taylor Rogers. They shut down the Yankees in the 7th. And on September 11th, 2018, we think back to September 11th, and the Minnesota Twins are going to honor America with God Bless America, and we're going to stay.
2018 audition winner Erin Grant as she leads us in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. Oh, God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Time to look at our game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Yankees trailing 10-5. 12 hits for the Twins, 5 for the Yankees. As Jack just told you, Sonny Gray, 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, couple of strikeouts. Tyler Duffy, a couple innings. Didi Gregorius with his grand slam, but Joe Mauer, the big swing of the bat. Grand slam for him in that 6th inning. Sorry, the 5th inning. As we have a new pitcher for the Yankees, Stephen Tarpley, in for his 3rd big league appearance. The 2nd came on Wednesday in that loss at Oakland. He allowed a hit in 2/3 of an inning, had a couple of strikeouts. On our Cadillac scoreboard, the Yankees trailing 10-5. Be 9-1-2 for the Twins. As Astudillo, first pitch swinging, McCutchen on the run, 1 down. We're going to look at our Coors Light refreshing finish. And it was Joe Mauer's last at bat. The grand slam, the 6th home run of the year for Joe Mauer, and a big swing in this ball game.
Yeah, was it ever? I mean, it really opened the game up, right middle of the plate, and 6 home runs on the year. You wouldn't think it from looking at that shot. Almost hit the batter's eye. Making it 10-1 at the time. Yankees come back with 4 in the 5th.
Well, you look at Tarpley and what he did to deserve a big league call-up between AA Trenton, AAA Scranton. 7-2 with a 1.94 ERA. You're left-handed, that's going to get you a look in the big leagues. Gets his first look at Joe Mauer. Falls behind the count 2-0. Good fastball for Tarpley at about 94. Ball hit hard right back up the middle. Joe Mauer with another base hit. We're going to talk it back to our studios and Bob Lorenz. Bob. Wow, 99 wins already for the Boston Red Sox.
So pace for what do we got here? 10, 99 and 46. So 145. Carry the 1 divided by 6.
I'll let you handle this one. All right? Project out. Give me a number. Spit something
Square
out.
root of 49 is 7.
110 wins? Is that what you're thinking?
I think right around 110. Always a good idea to throw something out there and not know the answer.
Polanco having another good night. 3 for 4 for him. But getting back to that Chris Sale, right? You have to, if you're the Boston Red Sox, as good as your year has been, 99 wins already, and your ace, as Polanco soft line drive, Torres makes the play. You want free Yankee tickets? Spend $150 or more at the Harmon store at 527 Madison Avenue and receive 2 tickets for free. So go pick up a JBL speaker or headphones today while supplies last. But with all those good things going on in Boston, if you don't have your #1 guy stretched out and ready to go, might not mean a whole lot.
True. But I still think here we are the 11th. He's got 3 starts. That week is eliminated. Well, not eliminated, but not having to play the wild card game until Saturday. Yeah, I think the first game is either Friday or Saturday after the season. Friday ALDS would be their first game 1.
So you're saying he'd get a side session in between there to stretch it out again?
I'm going to pull up their schedule.
Logan Forsythe up with 2 down. Well, you'd figure every time Stephen Tarpley takes the mound, it's just going to be a little bit more comfortable. And that big league call up for the first time be a little intimidating as Forsythe hits a ground ball to Gregorius, over to Torres, and Stephen Tarpley works a nice 7th inning. We'll be back for the 8th. Twins. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with the Audi batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame right here on Yes and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Top of the 8th on our Hyundai scoreboard. Yankees trailing 10-5. Be 2-3-4 for the Yankees. Aaron Hicks, Miguel Andujar, and Giancarlo Stanton. As Taylor Rogers back out there for his second inning of work. Hicks 0 for 3. Hooks this ball down to third base. Adrianza up with it, 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. One down will bring up Miguel Andujar. A couple of hits for him tonight. Another multi-hit game. And the batting average sitting at a cool 300 for Andujar. Only 5 hits for the Yankees in this one as Hildenberger getting his gun hot. As Andujar works underneath it, skies it to the left side. Looks like it's going to be Polanco. 2 quick outs here in the 8th.
So to finish the Chris Sale.
Yeah.
All right. 26 pitches in a game tonight against the Blue Jays. Went down to the bullpen through, assuming another 14, so they'll get him at 40. He'll pitch 5 days, assume against the Mets, a home game. If he did 40, good for at least 55, 60. Yep. So he'll be at 60. There's an off day. He'll miss the Yankee series at Yankee Stadium. Pitch against Cleveland, probably on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday. So that'll be his 3rd start. So 60 to 75. And then he'll pitch against the Yankees on the Friday, the last series in Boston.
And stretch it out.
Stretch it out. He'll be fine.
If everything goes to plan.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But that normally a tune-up start for a guy like that at the end of the year, I see him going 6 innings.
That's going to be an interesting series. I mean, obviously the Red Sox, they got a playoff spot already. They're just going to be kind of getting guys some at bats, getting them some rest, figuring out the last couple of weeks. Sale will be the most important piece to their club at that point. And where will the Yankees be? Who are they going to be running out there? Trying to get probably lined up for a 1-game playoff and get the pitching in order and rested and ready to go. Stanton, weak ground ball to the right side. Rogers up with it. And an easy 1-2-3 inning. That's 6 up, 6 down for Taylor Rogers. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 8th. Every weekday afternoon, catch the Michael Kay Show on Yes for in-depth Yankees analysis as their playoff push continues. Plus, get all the football talk heading into the NFL's Week 2. Catch the Michael Kay Show on Yes, weekdays starting at 3 o'clock.
Aw. Cute.
Our Hyundai scoreboard, the Yankees trailing 10-5, bottom of the 8th inning. Tarpley out there for his second inning of work. It'll be Robbie Grossman. Well, you can see Tarpley and how he would have had some major success in the minor leagues. The arm, the velocity plays, good breaking ball, but he also steps across his body a little bit mechanically, which will give him a little bit of deception. Kind of crossfires against the righties. That misses badly.
Top pick with the Orioles. Well, third rounder out of Scottsdale Community College. It's clean, kind of a little bit of right to left, stiff leg,
a little crossfire. Obviously, the Yankees needing to win games here in the month of September to secure a playoff spot, but also trying to get a little bit of a look as well, picking their spots with some of the young relievers. The Grossman, Cave, and Tyler Austin are in the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees trailing 10-5.
Sneaky. Tarpley. He was in the Von Nova trade. Orioles. Tarpley went from the Orioles to the Pirates for Travis Snyder, and then in the Von Nova trade got to the Yankees. Solid, deserving season this year with an ERA 1.94 coming out of the pen.
And a pretty good battle here with Grossman. Look at the bio. Born in 1993. It makes me feel old. Third round pick by the Orioles. Acquired by the Yankees August 30th, 2016 with that trade you were talking about, Von Nova, and the 1.87 ERA in the minors. As the breaking ball, the fastball misses, ball 4. Now a quick word from Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
Memorial Sloan Kettering has given Jessica the ability to live her life while undergoing her cancer treatment.
We'll bring up Jake Cave. Couple of base hits, couple RBIs, facing the left-hander. Takes strike 1. These are the matchups, Al, that I'm sure Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, Aaron Boone, the manager, the left on left. Is there a big breaking ball to negate a left-handed hitter? How does he attack the lefties? Fastball in, I like that. Don't see too many left-handed pitchers like to throw the fastball in on left-handed hitters.
I know. You know, it seems like the last few years that the left on left has kind of become less important if you have righties that can get lefties out.
Ground ball to the right side. Torres up with it to Gregorius.
I don't know how you feel about it, John, but I don't agree with it. I know there's righties that can get lefties out. Usually some kind of split or something going down away, but a good lefty. Think of Tony Fossis. Remember him over the years?
Of course, I played with him in Boston.
He pitched every day.
Yep.
You knew you were going to get a sidewind and across the body, slurvy breaking ball, almost every pitch.
And to your point, I understand that at the end of these games you have Betances, right? You have Chapmans, you have Robertsons, Greens. But how about in a playoff game in the 4th inning, 5th inning, you have a tough lefty up there. You might be able to have a lefty specialist to get a big out. That could be a big out in a ball game. One down, Tyler Austin up to the plate, 1 for 3, a single walk and a run.
Well, I mean, you got Britton. You know,
Nasty on lefties, nasty on righties.
Yeah, amazing bowling ball sinker.
I wanted to ask you this. I read something today about pitchers working on a one-seam fastball. I have never heard that before.
And actually, I read the story. It was Cole Stewart. They were talking about a one-seam fastball. It's a sinker, and Mel Stottlemyre used to teach it. In between the seam, they're calling it a one-seam fastball?
One-seam fastball is what they were saying.
So instead of in between the horseshoe, you kind of hug the one seam between your index finger and middle finger. And that's how Mel used to teach the sinker. And it's a little unusual because it's across the horseshoe and you just kind of hug the seam.
And they were saying it goes straight down as opposed to side, right? A little.
Yes, and Garvin Alston, the pitching coach for the Twins, was in the minor leagues with the A's and maybe even the bullpen coach. And I guess when Blake Trinan got there, you always look for a guy that, amazing sinker as he does.
Austin jammed. Gregorius comes in, the bare hand. Nice play. 2 down.
That is serious jam shot right there off the bat. Tyler Austin is not quick enough. Nice play, just clean, all in one motion. Watch your little blooper humpback.
That's interesting you bring up Mel Stottlemyre. I remember when Tanyan Sturtz got traded over to the Yankees, and Mel taught him what I thought was a two-seamer because all of a sudden his sinker got so much better. Sometimes a player gets with a certain coach, a hitting coach, a pitching coach, picks something up, different grip, different arm angle, and next thing you know, stuff is better.
Totally. No, the more, I can't tell you how often, every day, pitchers playing catch, they're tinkering, they're messing. Try this grip. You play catch with another fellow pitcher. Hey, how'd you hold that? How'd you throw it?
Kepler, looping line drive to left. Can Stanton make the play? He can. Nice running play by Giancarlo Stanton. And 2 shutout innings for Stephen Tarpley. Yankees going to try to rally in the top of the 9th. They're down 10-5. Visit Dodge.com today. And by People's United Bank. We've been on a winning streak for 175 years. People's United Bank, member FDIC, and by your local Volvo dealers. Top of the 9th here at Target Field in Minneapolis. Yankees trailing 10-5. As manager Paul Molitor goes to the bullpen again, it'd be Trevor Hildenberger. His 65th game, 60 strikeouts and 66 1/3. Yankees trying to get something going here in the top of the 9th. It'll be Didi Gregorius, Gary Sanchez, and Luke Voit. Not a save situation for Hildenberger. He's 5 for 7 in save opportunities this year. And he drops an off-speed pitch in there for strike one. Didi having a good night, 2 for 2 with that grand slam. His 23rd home run of the year, 79th RBI. At this point down by 5, just looking to get on base. He slaps it right back to Hildenberger. 1 down. Following the final out, join Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry for the WB Mason postgame as they bring you highlights and analysis from tonight's game, and they look ahead to tomorrow's series finale. Plus, see Meredith Marakovitz get all the clubhouse reaction right here on Yes. One down will bring up Gary Sanchez. Sacrifice fly in the second. You see Hildenberger with that unusual delivery.
You know, we were talking about Tony Fossis, lefty, righty, the different. I like it, and maybe it just harkens back to when I played. You had different variety of arms, the way they throw, the variety of speeds and release points. It just, you know, aside from just every single night trying to look for the next guy that throws 100, this is effective.
It begs the question, why wouldn't more guys try it, right? I mean, remember, C.J. Nikowski came to the Yankees, left-hander with a real good arm, and we talked about maybe dropping down a little bit as that fastball is thrown right by Gary Sanchez, 2 down, and he just was kind of at a point in his career he wasn't ready to do it.
Now look at that. That's 91 center cut, but you got a sidearm crossbody. It's got a good changeup. Flips his slider, breaking ball, kind of slinging it low 3/4, and then he comes over high 3/4 with 91 by him.
All about deception, right? Creating some deception, arm angles.
And different looks.
Yes. 2 down will bring up Luke Voigt. First pitch swinging, pulls it foul. Well, the Yankees scored 1 in the second. The Twins came right back with 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. A big 5th inning, 6 runs. They're up 10-5, looking to take the second game in this series. Joe Mauer, the big swing of the bat, the grand slam in the 5th inning. Hildenberger quickly ahead in the count, 1-2. If you're a Yankee fan, you look forward to tomorrow night's game. Luis Severino will be on the mound, looking to have a rebound start, looking to get his act together again. There's the 1-2 from Hildenberger, and a big swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch, and that'll do it. Twins will win this one 10-5. As Joe Mauer, Twins legend, the big swing of the bat in the 5th inning, a grand slam for him, 6th home run of the year, and this series is all tied up at 1. We will be back to break it down